Hello everyone. Welcome to Bookworm English. Today, we're going to explore the inspiring story of one of the greatest minds of the 20th century, Stephen Hawking. He was a brilliant physicist and a strong-willed man who overcame great challenges to change the way we understand the universe. His life was not just a journey in science, but also a story of determination, perseverance, and human greatness. Stephen Hawking's journey is a powerful example of intelligence, resilience, and an endless passion for discovery. Join me as we embark on this journey and uncover the incredible legacy he left for humanity. Chapter 1. From a curious boy to an Oxford student. Stephen Hawking was not a child prodigy who could solve complex equations at an early age. However, from a young age, he showed a deep curiosity about the world and had a sharp, unique way of thinking. Childhood and passion for science. Stephen Hawking was born on January 8, 1942, in Oxford, England, exactly 300 years after the death of Galileo Galilei, one of history's greatest scientists. His family had a strong academic background. His father, Frank Hawking, was a medical researcher, and his mother, Isobel Hawking, was an intelligent woman who studied at Oxford University at a time when few women had such opportunities. As a child, Hawking was extremely curious and loved exploring the world. He was not great at memorizing facts or following school routines, but he had an incredible ability to think logically. He enjoyed taking things apart, experimenting with new ideas, and asking deep questions about the universe. His friends gave him the nickname Einstein, not only because of his thick glasses and messy hair, but also because of his unique way of thinking. However, his school performance was not outstanding. In fact, sometimes he was considered below average. This was not because he lacked intelligence, but because he found school lessons boring and not challenging enough for his curious mind. University years. At age 17, Hawking was accepted into Oxford University, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. Initially, he wanted to study mathematics, but since Oxford did not offer a mathematics degree, he chose physics instead. Despite having an extraordinary mind, Hawking was not a traditional hard-working student. He often skipped taking notes, rarely spent much time studying, and was quite lazy in his coursework. However, he had a unique gift. He could quickly grasp the essence of a problem just by briefly reading about it. During his university years, Hawking was known as a fun-loving and sociable young man. He enjoyed parties and had a great sense of humor. He even joined Oxford's rowing team. Not because he loved sports, but simply because he enjoyed being part of the energetic environment. However, despite his carefree student life, a life-changing event was approaching. The first signs of a terrible disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis ALS, began to appear, marking the start of a completely different journey for Stephen Hawking. Chapter 2: The Shock at 21, when the world collapsed. Stephen Hawking's life changed forever when he received devastating news at the age of 21. This should have been the beginning of a bright future, but instead, he was forced to face an unimaginable nightmare. Diagnosed with ALS, a death sentence at 21. One day, Hawking noticed that his body wasn't working as it used to. He became clumsy, tripping over his own feet and dropping things without knowing why. At first, he thought it was just fatigue or a lack of focus. But as the symptoms worsened, his family urged him to see a doctor. After several medical tests, he received a terrifying diagnosis: amyotrophic lateral sclerosis ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. This rare and incurable condition gradually weakens and paralyzes the body while keeping the mind fully aware. Like being trapped inside your own body, doctors told him he had only about 2 years to live. For a 21-year-old young man, full of dreams and ambition, this was like a death sentence. Hawking had just started his PhD at the University of Cambridge, eager to explore the mysteries of the universe. And now, he was being told that he would slowly lose the ability to walk, talk, and even breathe. His future collapsed before his eyes, falling into despair. After hearing the diagnosis, Hawking fell into deep depression. He lost all motivation to study or continue his research, believing there was no point in working towards a future he might never see. He withdrew from his studies, lost interest in books, and felt as if his life had ended before it even began. But then, two things pulled him back from the darkness: the love of Jane Wilde, the girl who never left. During his darkest moments, Jane Wilde, a fellow student, came into his life. Unlike others, who only saw his disease, Jane saw the brilliant mind behind it. She believed in Hawking even when he had lost faith in himself. Her love and support gave him a reason to keep going. She encouraged him to return to his studies, reminding him that his mind was still strong, even if his body was weakening. His love for the universe, a dream he wasn't ready to give up. Despite his despair, there was one thing that still brought him joy: the mysteries of the universe. The more he thought about black holes, time, and space, the more he realized that his disease could take away his movement, but it could never take away his thoughts. Instead of focusing on death, he started to think about what he could achieve with the time he had left. These two sources of strength, love and purpose, pulled him out of the darkness. From that moment on, Hawking decided that he would not let his disease define his fate. Instead, he would dedicate the rest of his life to exploring the universe and leaving a lasting mark on the world of science. What happened next became one of the most extraordinary stories in human history. Chapter 3: Turning Adversity into Strength, a journey that changed cosmology. Instead of giving in to fate, Stephen Hawking chose to fight to the very end. He did not let ALS define his life, but used the time he had left to dive deeper into the mysteries of the universe. His discoveries did not just change physics, they shook the entire scientific community. While continuing his PhD at the University of Cambridge, Hawking devoted himself completely to theoretical physics. Although his illness made writing and movement increasingly difficult, he refused to give up. When his hands lost the ability to write, he adapted by calculating in his head and communicating ideas to his assistants. His perseverance and refusal to accept limits allowed him to go further than anyone could have imagined. During his research, Hawking collaborated with mathematician Roger Penrose to study black holes. From this, he made a shocking discovery. Black holes do not just absorb matter, they also emit radiation. This completely contradicted the previous belief that black holes were traps from which nothing could escape. This phenomenon, later called Hawking radiation, changed how we understand the universe. This discovery had three major implications. It proved that black holes are not completely black. They can emit radiation and eventually evaporate over time. It connected Einstein's theory of general relativity with quantum mechanics, the two most important theories in physics. It raised a big question about information in the universe. Does information really disappear when it falls into a black hole? However, Hawking's discovery also created a major paradox in modern physics. According to quantum mechanics, information cannot be completely destroyed. But if a black hole evaporates and disappears, where does the information inside it go? If information is lost, it would break the fundamental laws of quantum physics. But if it is not lost, how does it escape the black hole? This paradox, known as the Hawking information paradox, led to a decades-long debate between Hawking and other scientists, especially Leonard Susskind. For many years, Hawking firmly believed that information was lost forever. However, in 2004, he unexpectedly changed his stance, admitting that information might actually survive after a black hole evaporates. His discovery not only opened new doors for theoretical physics, but also brought humanity closer to unraveling the greatest mysteries of the universe. Even though his illness took away his ability to walk, speak, and move, Hawking's mind and spirit never stopped reaching beyond limits, challenging everything we thought we knew. From a man given no future, he became a legend. Chapter 4. The more he lost, the greater he became. Life in a wheelchair and a synthetic voice. As Stephen Hawking's disease progressed, his physical condition worsened rapidly. His muscles grew weaker over time, making movement increasingly difficult. Eventually, he lost the ability to walk and had to rely on a wheelchair. However, the biggest loss came in 1985 when a severe infection led doctors to perform a tracheotomy, which permanently took away his ability to speak. But even as his body weakened, his mind remained sharp. Instead of allowing the disease to silence him forever, Hawking found a way to keep communicating. With the help of engineers, he was given a speech-generating device, allowing him to select words on a screen to form sentences. Though the voice sounded robotic, it became his unique identity, a voice recognized worldwide. Despite facing enormous challenges, nothing could stop his passion for discovery. Hawking continued teaching, researching, and writing. His most famous contribution to the world was his book, A Brief History of Time, published in 1988. Written in a simple and understandable way, the book helped millions of people explore the mysteries of the universe, which had previously only been accessible to scientists. It quickly became a global phenomenon, selling millions of copies and changing how the world saw physics. Over time, Hawking became more than just a scientist. He became a symbol of incredible resilience. He proved that disabilities do not define a person, and no matter how tough the challenges, humans can still achieve greatness. Through his life and work, he showed the world that the greatest strength does not come from the body, but from an unbreakable will to never give up. Chapter 5. From the Laboratory to Pop Culture. Stephen Hawking was not just a brilliant scientist, he became a true cultural icon. His influence extended beyond university lecture halls, reaching millions of people through television, movies, and media. Unlike many scientists who stay in the lab, Hawking embraced his fame and used it to inspire others. He appeared in famous TV shows like The Simpsons and The Big Bang Theory, where his signature robotic voice and sharp sense of humor captivated audiences. He proved that science is not boring, it can be fun, engaging, and inspiring. His extraordinary life was even brought to the big screen in the movie The Theory of Everything, 2014, starring Eddie Redmayne as Hawking. The film not only helped the public understand him as a person, but also celebrated his incredible fight against fate. Beyond entertainment, Hawking made bold predictions about the future of humanity. He warned about the dangers of artificial intelligence AI, fearing that if AI becomes smarter than humans, it could become a major threat. He also explored topics like time travel, extraterrestrial life, and the future of space exploration. One of his biggest concerns was the survival of humankind. He once said that if we do not take care of Earth, one day humans may need to find a new planet to live on. Stephen Hawking was more than a scientist. He was a visionary thinker, a cultural legend, and someone who bridged the gap between science and everyday life. His ideas continue to shape modern physics and inspire future generations. Chapter 6: Farewell and an Eternal Legacy. Throughout his life, Stephen Hawking defied all limits, leaving a deep impact on science and inspiring millions around the world. However, no matter how brilliant a mind is, time never stops. On March 14, 2018, the world mourned the loss of a genius. In an incredible coincidence, this was also Albert Einstein's birthday, as if the universe had planned it. People everywhere grieved for a scientist who was not only a pioneer in physics, but also a symbol of determination and resilience. However, Hawking's legacy lives on. His groundbreaking research on black holes, the Big Bang, and quantum physics has paved the way for future generations of scientists. His most famous discovery, Hawking radiation, completely changed our understanding of black holes and challenged the foundations of modern physics. His books, especially A Brief History of Time, not only made physics more accessible to the public, but also inspired millions to explore the wonders of the universe. But perhaps Hawking's greatest legacy is not just his scientific work, but his life story, a story of perseverance, passion, and an unbreakable will. Diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21, doctors predicted he had only 2 years to live. Yet, he fought for more than 50 years, continuing to research, teach, and inspire. He proved that even if the body is limited, the human mind and spirit have no boundaries. Though his robotic voice has gone silent, his ideas, discoveries, and spirit will live on forever. He reminds us all that no matter how tough life gets, we can dream, explore, and change the world. Stephen Hawking's journey is not just a story about science, but a testament to the incredible strength of the human spirit. His life teaches us that no matter how difficult things get, never give up. Even when his body failed him, his mind reached beyond limits, proving that passion and determination can overcome any hardship. Hawking once said, "Always look up at the stars and not down at your feet." This is not just advice, it's a reminder for us to stay curious, dream big, and keep exploring. His story inspires us to pursue knowledge, face challenges, and make the most of our time on this planet.